Good evening and welcome to another edition of Cage Full Throttle, our 10th edition and our final one of 2017. And we bring you tonight reports from Birmingham and Ringwood and Eastbourne. With me tonight are Matt Josie. Good evening, Matt.
Good evening, Andy, and hello to all our listeners.
And a very good evening to Jordan Hollands as well. Good evening, Jordan.
Good evening, Andy. Good evening, Matt, and good evening, everyone else as well.
And as I say, our final one of 2017 before we break for Christmas and New Year. And we start, as always, with the reports. And I'm going to hand over to Jordan for a report from the Birmingham Champions of Champions.
Champion of Champions this year again. It was won by 717 Jack Tuffin in his Ford Scorpio from the Ipswich World Final. And I believe I'm right in saying that this is Jack's first big title win. And obviously we'll move on to Ringwood a little bit later. But he also won Ringwood the weekend after that as well. So he's ended the season very well as Jack. And he's always been a quick driver. So it could be a dark horse for the major titles again next year. But with regards to the action, probably the biggest hit of the night was watching Scott Cornish and Joey Palmer of the Midnight Runners absolutely dismantling the Toyota Privia of number 2, Spooky Luke Dawson, who still jumped out with a smile on his face despite the heavy hits. And to be honest, I haven't really seen much else on that meeting. I know that Carl Douglas followed in one of the gladiators. I think it was 542 Craig Oliver. It's good to see Carl Douglas still sticking with that rivalry. To be honest, I haven't really seen much else on it. So, one last thing. There was a big rollover for someone coming out of turn 4 in one of the races, but I have no idea who that was. But yeah, it's a bit of a rubbish report, I know, but I think that's it for the report of Birmingham. Unless you guys have got anything to add to it?
No, just well done to Jack Tuffin on that major title win, really.
Yeah, very good drive there from Jack Tuffin. Matt, I'll hand over to you now for the Micro Madness at Arlington.
Yeah, this meeting I didn't quite attend, sadly, in the end, but I saw the video anyway, and it looked pretty decent. As you'd expect, mostly a micro-dominated field. I'm not too sure on the turnout, but I believe it was 90-odd cars with around 30-plus no-shows, which is, I'd say, fairly disappointing. But again, you got to put your respect out to the drivers that did attend and race on the night, who put on a great show from what I saw on the on YouTube anyway. And all I can see really from the video was Weevil was on top form, as a lot of people were mentioning on Oval Chat after the meeting. Weevil followed in 771 Mr. Farley and the number 99 cars respectively, plus a few others as well. There was quite a big hit in the meeting as well. So Weevil done the 786 car, and his helmet actually came off, which meant red flags straight away. There was a bit of a war going on between the Dreamers and Team Trim, which is no surprise really with them two, including 84 Peach, who did follow in 556 Flip, and the DD looked very good as well. And a very cool win for 114 Lakey, who won the Destruction Derby in his highly wrecked Nissan Micra. In terms of the results, Heat 1 was taken by 294 Lee Hughes. Heat number 2, 409 Charlie Murrell. Heat number 3, treble 3 Charlie Randall, who's had a very good year this year, has to be said. All Comers 1 was taken by number 98 Ashley Rummery. All Comers 2, 570 Jordan Cumming. The final was won by 27 Dale Hughes, and as I've already mentioned, 114 Liam Lake won the Destruction Derby. So that's the Eastbourne Micros. I don't know if you saw the footage, guys, but it looked like a decent meeting. Did you see the footage?
Yeah, I did. It was a very, very good meeting indeed. And as you say, Weevil definitely on top form that night with a lot of big hits throughout the day. And I was quite surprised when I saw the report that 114 Lakey won the Destruction Derby, because as you say, Matt, his car was absolutely totaled.
It was. I did hear that he won the Destruction Derby, and it wasn't until I saw the video of the meeting online just a few days ago. How I saw a wrecked Micra, and I thought, oh, that's obviously going to win the DD. And I looked, and it was 114 Liam Lake. So took a bit of a surprise there. And now we move on to the third and final report of our report section, and it is the annual Unlimited National Banger UK Open Championship at Ringwood Raceway. Take it away, Jordan.
Yeah, thank you, Matt. And over 100 cars filled the Ringwood pits on Saturday, the 2nd of December, which is no mean feat in this day and age. And there wasn't actually that many no-shows, which is good to hear, especially for Trojan and Ringwood. On the car front, you had quite a good variety, actually. A few classics, including 2 lovely Rolls Royces, 146 Steve Ross and 67 Ricky Beasley, 77 Patch and 239 Nemesis Steve Carter, had a pair of lovely Jaguar XJ6s, 100 Mr. Messi had a tidy 420 Jaguar, the Souters and Filmers were at it again. Lump had a smart Yank Hearse, and 884 Tom Filmer had a smart Yank. 733 Ricky Shroud had a beautiful Chrysler Corboda, and 421 Nutty Nige and 221 Justin Riley had 2 huge Yank estates, which they put to good use. It was also good to see a fresh Mark II for the 154 car, and even a fresh Mark II Granada limo at the hands of 762 Michael Perry. There were also 3 very nice Jags on hand from 222 Matty High, 246 Aston Burt, who was plagued by engine dramas throughout the night, and 660 Gavin Dampney, who also had caged on the bonnet of his car, so thank you to Gavin for that. 572 Paul Scully had a tidy Ford Scorpio limo, and 932 Reece Reed had a very nice Mercedes estate, while 632 Callum Reed had a very nice saloon version. And on that note, I would just like to send my best wishes to Callum after he sustained a few injuries after a heavy hit on Saturday night. 360 Jackstar raced a modern taxi, which also ended the night rather totaled. But moving to the action, Heat 1, there was a few spins, but nothing major. 146 Steve Vossi Voss jacked the 100 car of Mr. Sat heavy on the exit of turn 4. Race winner of Heat 1 was 382 Danny Hunt. Heat 2 saw Rob Setter jack John Picton hard on turns 3 and 4. Jack Filmer jacked the 92 Ford Scorpio on turns 1 and 2. 3 for 1 Andrew Jones won the race and followed in 55 Dan Reeves at high speed into the turns 3 and 4 wall to celebrate. Heat 3, well, it was a DD really, with 421 Nigel Riley and 221 Justin causing mayhem on opposite, with Patch Beasley well involved as well, taking on the Bears all by himself. So great effort from Patch there. Heat 4 saw Ricky Beasley out in his Rolls Royce, and he put it to great use, absolutely destroying the 323 Dean Kelly Yank and the 275 Johnny Tomlinson Toyota Privia. Jack Tuffin won Heat 4. Consolation 1 saw a little bit of action again between Team Black and the Bears, with 103 Jack Deacon taking on Ashley Riley and Justin Riley, which was a tremendous achievement from young Jack there. Dominic Bowden jacked Shane Fry very hard on the entry to turn 3 as PJ Collins raced to victory. Consolation 2, there was a big push into turns 1 and 2 with a good wrecking train involving a few cars. The red flags come out there for an injured driver. On the restart, 28 Fred James was spun on the exit of turn 4. He was subsequently T-boned by Jack Filmer before getting jacked by 884 Tom Filmer. Race winner of Consolation 2 was 257 the Water Boy, Timmy Aldridge. And it was time for the big one after that, the UK Open, where there was a massive pile-up on the exit of turn 4, with some massive hits going in, including quite a comical moment of Nemesis Steve Carter absolutely totaling the Supra of 341 Andrew Jonesy Jones. Apparently, Nemesis said afterwards that he thought the Jonesy Supra was actually Steve Bugler. So quite a comical moment there. The restart was quite ruddy until Charlie Randall followed in Paul Scully picking up Matty Hyatt on the way in too. Jack Tuffin won the UK Open title from number 2 Georgie Lee and Rob Setters in third. On to the DD now, and again another pile-up formed on turn 4 with lots of great hits going, and Lee Hopkins' Jaguar XJ6 was absolutely ruined by the end of the night. Jack Star's Taxi, as previously mentioned, was also ruined. The axle was nearly gone from that car. So yeah, some very good hits in that one, and that was won by a 3-for-1 Andrew Jones again, topping off what was a really good night for him actually, even if he did get a massive hit from his teammate. But yeah, no, overall I thought it was a really good meeting actually at Ringwood. Not as many cards as in previous years, but equally as entertaining I thought, and yeah, should be another good season for Ringwood next year, obviously with their first ever Unlimited National Banger World Championship in July as well.
Sounded very good. I must admit, I'm gutted I missed the meeting due to typical man flu syndrome, which is very gutting indeed. Would you say it was as lively as previous years?
No, it wasn't as lively as in previous years, but at the end of the day, I think I remember the 2013 UK Open being...
That was savage.
That's savage, yeah.
Yeah,
so
that was brilliant.
I don't think you can compare it to the 2013 or maybe even 2014 one, but at the end of the day, you won't really see a better unlimited meeting than that this season, and probably next season as well. So yeah, I think if you look at it that way, it was a really good night.
And bear in mind as well, the prize fund dropped as well massively. It was previously £5,000. It went down to £1,500, which was a bit of a shock. But like I say, it's been a consistent meeting. 2014, I wasn't too keen on that year, to be honest with you. There were some cool cars that year, though, has to be said. But I thought 2015 was very good as well. That was really lively.
Yeah, 2015 was really good, yeah.
That was brilliant. And now I think we move on to the news, which has quite a lot to talk about, mostly fixture announcements for 2018. And we kick off with the big one, the Caged Meeting announcement, which has been announced for Stanlake Arena on Sunday the 2nd of December 2018, obviously, sponsored by cagebangers.co.uk. It's the Race Your Rubbish Day, featuring 800cc bilge bangers and micro national bangers. Now, this is all provisional, the date and the format of the bangers, that is. Anything could change. We could still maybe have unlimited nationals, or the date could still move to end of November time, but should be very good. In terms of bilge bangers at the moment, it's looking more like no Focuses, no Honda Civics, that type of stuff. More back to basics, but with more of a street banger build, if that makes any sort of sense at all. With trophies for top cars, top paint, that kind of stuff, really. So, should be a good day out. Moving on to the next one now. This is a Caged Podcast exclusive announcement. I announced the other day a Caged e-magazine. Now, this might not be the case. Issue number 1 is the National Banger 2017 review, featuring the review itself of the year, 2018 preview, a few reports from the year, and many photos, and much more in general. Now, an exclusive of this podcast I can reveal is there's a possibility of a full-on physical magazine coming roughly February, March time next year, with issue 2 maybe sort of May, June time next year as well. There's still more to announce regarding this magazine. It is 90% going to happen now. We have got around to a deal with Print for You, so thank you very much for that. We are looking for adverts in the magazine, hopefully as well, so feel free to message us on Facebook for us to reply with more details on that. But yeah, a Caged physical magazine, guys. It's going to be amazing, isn't it? Hopefully.
Yeah, should be good.
Yeah. So the first 2 issues are basically reviews of the 2017 for national bangers and domestic bangers, and following that, hopefully we'll do one every 3 months thereafter, depending on how well it goes. So we look forward to that. Do you want to go through this one, Andy? The next line, or a few others?
Yes, indeed. Unlimited Back to Basics coming to Mildenhall. So, Matt, I think you spoke about this earlier on in the week, and obviously had mixed reviews on it. Obviously, Back to Basics, first time at Mildenhall, And obviously, those that have been around the speed draft track knows that obviously it's the way it used to be, easier car build, and obviously the action isn't limited as people may think. Obviously, the first two races, those that have seen it, obviously a bit of nudge and spin, nothing too heavy, and then obviously on the third race, it all livens up. So it promises to obviously bring another style of banger formula to Mildenhall. And for those who are obviously worrying, oh no, not back to basics, oh that's not going to be good.
We can't have that.
Yeah, exactly. We had obviously mixed reviews of that. It's obviously a trial thing. Obviously, if it is successful, and over time, obviously people are going to see that, yeah, back to basics, it's easier, quicker way of building cars, and it doesn't mean that the action is actually any less than what you would have in normal unlimited bangers. But it's a trial thing, and hopefully it will be very successful. Also, as well, and this has got to be interesting, Hendersford are running an all-French back to basic meeting. I imagine that Mike Perry might have something to do with that. Yeah, I
was about to say, maybe get Mike Perry out there. That'd be pretty cool.
I reckon he'll have a Citroen. Just a guess, really.
Yeah, no doubt about it. And I believe as well, I'm not 100% sure on this, but I think it might be the same day as the Unlimited National Banger Veterans Day. I believe as well. So that's a very interesting fixture, I think. Certainly.
That'll make two different combinations quite unusual there, especially for Hendersford. But all French bangers, I mean, good luck on whatever people bring out for that. But also, 4x4 back to basics at Aldershot.
That's very interesting. That shocked me big time. Because for years we've been used to national 4x4s at Aldershot or Kings Lynn or wherever. But maybe the disappointing turnouts at Aldershot is the reason behind this. Maybe to give, the 4x4s another chance to get a higher turnout. I don't know. But will it include the ramp, though? Will the ramp be back?
It's got to include the ramp. It's got to include the ramp. I mean, that's what's made the 4x4 meetings over the last 2-3 years at Aldershot. It's got to be the ramp jump races. It brings the crowd in. The crowd love it. And the drivers enjoy it too, believe it or not. After speaking to a few of them, it does make a lot of fun. So, I reckon that's going to bring in a lot more cars than previous years at Aldershot for 4x4 meetings. So, fingers crossed, start saving those 4x4s.
While we're talking about back to basics, we don't want to mix the section up too much here, but we've just seen the announcement for the first 3 speeder fixtures for 2018 as well, and the back to basics returns to Aldershot Raceway on Sunday the 25th of February, so an earlier start to the year back at Aldershot. This has got to be worth mentioning.
Yes, definitely, and also an early start at Arlington as well, because they start off on the 27th of January. Ooh. For their first meeting, so that is going to be very nippy down on the south coast, so bring your thermals with you. But 27th of January, 5 PM start time, so we'll tell more about that later. And that has got back to basics, that meeting as well. What a way to start the season, I say.
Should be brilliant. And moving on to Ringwood now as well. They've recently revealed, their fixtures that are planned for 2018 did include the All Cortina meeting and the Unlimited World Final. And they've finally revealed the dates for these fixtures. The All Cortina meeting is set to take place on Saturday the 8th of September. And the Unlimited World Final, surprisingly, but not, I'm not too sure on this, Saturday the 28th of July. I was a little bit shocked at first to see a Summer World Championship take place. However, maybe it's the right move considering obviously you've got the Speed Off World Final in October. Then you've got, at Ringwood, you've got the Red Slack Memorial, the Unlimited UK Open Championship, and you've got the Rookie World Final at Ringwood as well, so maybe that's the right decision as well. Another fixture worth mentioning is the Bears Bash was announced last week at Arlington Raceway for the 4th of August, and this is later than usual. Normally it's middle or start of July time, so that was a bit of a shock. But Andy, we now know why that fixture was moved later a little bit.
Yes, it was indeed, and for that reason is because announcement was made that the Dave King Memorial has been decided for Mildenhall in mid-July. So it's going to be a 2-day event. Saturday is going to be the pre-70 National Bangers, so already drivers booking in for that as we speak, and then it's going to be the pre-90 bangers on the Sunday. So it's going to be a 2-day event taking place in mid-July. So obviously those that have seen the meeting picture that went up of the poster for that meeting, obviously people have already started saving their cars for that. So and if you've been following the memorial meeting page for that, there has already been some good cars going up. If you've seen that, Matt.
I've not seen many. I've seen a few. I've seen a P5 for one of your regular drivers, and what else did I see? I saw a console classic or something for the pre-70 on the Saturday. There's some pretty
I haven't
cool
seen
cars
any
like
of
that.
them actually.
Yeah, I
might
saw
have to have a
two.
look in a minute.
I've seen two. And the thing is, it's sad because we shouldn't be looking forward to this fixture for obvious reasons, but what a tribute it's going to be to a legend. It's just going to be amazing. It's like the Steeman Memorial back in 2012 at Milton. It shouldn't be happening, but hopefully it's going to be a brilliant send-off for him.
Yeah.
Without a doubt.
Yes.
Agreed. Couldn't have said it better myself.
Yeah, certainly. Any other news to mention?
No, don't think so. I think that pretty much covers it.
Obviously, we need to mention, obviously, we did have some sad news at Cage and across the whole of the banger scene that Lost It Lloyd Isherwood, of course, sadly passed away recently. Obviously, a well-known name up at the Northern track, especially around the Inca Race tracks, and raced for many years. And that was some sad news released last week, I believe, Matt.
Yeah, sometime last week. But we, of course, send our condolences to all the friends and family of Lost It Lloyd.
And I don't know if many of you got to see Lost It Lloyd race, but it was always in the thick of the action, especially along with the Inca Race and Speedsworth head-to-head meetings, and any event Inca Race were against another promotion. Lost It Lloyd was always in the team and always well and truly a man to keep an eye on. Always had a lot of fun in bangers, and obviously did have a good crash over the years as well. So again, we send our condolences to all family and
let's
friends.
Let's not forget the Civil War final win in the Unlimiteds back in 2005 at Arena.
Yes.
That was an amazing drive, and probably one of the most memorable banger drives I've ever seen, really.
Because
Agreed.
admittedly, I never saw the footage before. I only saw it recently, just after his sad passing, but it looked like a brilliant victory. So, top win there, back in 2005.
Yeah.
Now, do we move on to our discussion?
Yeah.
Unless we got another news.
No.
Just the one discussion this week where we fall out over arguments. No, we won't. Just the one topic, and this is brought up by Bryson, actually. And the question is, track you would like to see reopen and why? Realistically, in brackets. So I don't know who wants to go first on that one.
Well, that would be an easy one for me. It'll be Wimbledon.
Yeah, I was about to say.
I was going to say, yeah.
End of discussion,
Wimbledon.
though. Yeah. Well, I don't know. It's tough because obviously I'd say Wimbledon. I certainly agree with that. I mean, if suddenly a multi-millionaire came back and said, "Right, I'm going to buy the land and we're going to reopen it," however, then yeah, certainly. Other options, I'd say, these are two little ones. Now, this is controversial because I love the current Aldershot, obviously, and to be fair, I don't mind what we have because I love Aldershot, but at the same time, I love the old Fleet Motor Club we had, which is, for those who don't know, before it was Aldershot Raceway by Speedworth, it was Fleet Motor Club, but it was just known as Fleet. And it was more of like a Stan Lake type track, loads of races going on, all your non-contact classes, and the bangers were back to basics what you have now, but literally full contact. It was ridiculous. It was so epic. All cars getting snapped off and jacked up. It was back to basics gone mad back then. It was just crazy. I do miss Fleet. It was different as well because it went, I think, from January to December time as well, so it never really stopped. They had like a little break in between, but that was crazy. And the same again, Tadley. Now that was reopened back in 2010 or 11 by Fleet Motor Club, the same promoters, but as a tarmac track. But I'm putting in brackets here the dirt track. I went there as a kid, but I was far too young to remember it and enjoy the racing. But I'd love to see Tadley come back as a dirt track as well. That's another option. So because when my dad went there many years ago, I I think he commentated there as well quite a bit, and always big turnouts, plenty of crashing. It was pretty much bangers all day, I believe, as well. So a proper old school banger track.
Another dirt track that I'd like to see return is Lamb's Farm.
Oh yeah,
we mentioned that before. We mentioned that before.
But what a great track that was. I only went there once, and to be honest, I can't really remember it, but I've seen some footage of it, and yeah, great track, proper grassroots.
Great boxing ring.
No, it wasn't ever that bad, Matt. Now, come on. I went there I did go there a few times as a young teenager, and I have got some photographs actually still from those days back in early 2000, 2001, 2002. And I've got to say, all the times I went there, obviously being that I live near Croydon, it was quite easy to get to by bus. So it was an excellent track. It was right down the bottom of a hill off the actual Lambs Road on this farmland. And it was, as you say, Matt, like how Fleet Motor Club used to be. It was literally race what you bring. Quick, easy build, but they still had plenty of big contacts. So it was a very good track back in the day. I'd love to see that come back again.
I never realised this, but I currently live in Newbury, and I never realised there was actually a dirt track in Newbury. This was many years ago. They had a dirt track here, then it closed down and moved round the corner, so it was still in Newbury, but I'd love to see it's not going to happen now, obviously, because where the track was, there's all roads there now, but I'd love to have seen a track literally 5 minutes down the road from me. That'd have been awesome. Again, another track, Coventry, just recently closed, sadly, and Impact Videos have just released a DVD of that, Best of Coventry Bangers, I believe it's called. That made me quite sad watching it. I only ever went there twice, but what a track it was. The Bristol F1s were always lively, great viewing areas. I'm still pretty sad about that, really. It hasn't really sunk in with me, because like I said, I wasn't really an avid Coventry person. I went twice in my lifetime, but still. That's quite gutting to hear. And
I was going to say Coventry was an excellent track, especially for Briskers and National Saloons. It really was an ideal track, and obviously I had the lovely option of actually commentating there for 3 seasons, and I was gutted when I actually had to pull out of the final year due to work commitments on Saturdays, because there was going to be a change of working hours, and sadly I had to hang up doing commentary at Coventry, but and then to find out it was actually going to be the last year in the end, so very gutted on that.
I never even knew you commentated at Coventry.
No, that's
I had the option given to me to do Coventry. I went up there one meeting, they needed someone, and they said, "Yeah, you're really good. Do you want to carry on?" And I ended up there for 3 years, and it was a very, very good track. And as I say, Briskers and National Saloons around there were epic. So very sad loss.
Another thing I've just realised is if I won the lottery, another thing I would do is reopen the old Westworld, and if what's happened in that area, and once a year just do a one-off meeting once every year, bring back the blockbuster of 100+ cars.
That will be bad in time.
The proper blockbuster.
Good,
Oh, see again, that was a meeting I just missed out on, because I got into racing at the tail end of 2014, and that was the year they had the last, I'd say, proper big blockbuster at Westworld, so I just missed out on that. And I'm heartbroken still that I missed out on it, but I've got all the DVDs though, so all is good. Any other tracks we can think of that have recently closed or closed many years ago, but they could reopen if there was money there?
Crayford, maybe. Still race dogs there. Track's still there. It's still a stadium, so
I
never know.
I delivered round there over the course of this year, and I keep looking for the dog track, and I never got to found it. It's on the gyratory somewhere, but I can never find out where. Because wherever I follow the signs, it goes to a big Sainsbury's.
No, it is literally next to the Sainsbury's. You've got to look to the right. This is going well off track here, but it's just to the right of the Sainsbury's, and I think it's red. It's a big red stadium.
Ooh.
Right.
It says Crayford Stadium up the top. But yeah.
Before we move on, I've forgotten to read the Facebook comments regarding this topic. There's quite a few actually. There's quite a few comments on this one, surprisingly. So I'm going to read as many as I can. Ryan Barbrook, I'm just going to read the first sentence out. Next to go could be Mildenhall with the massive drop in numbers and fans since the Speedway takeover. I don't know how to respond. I know it's not on topic, but I don't know, Andy. The attendance has actually gone up for spectators at Mildenhall, if anything.
It's been up and down all year. I mean, obviously a lot of people are still in the we love RDC mode, and yeah, you can respect that because I've got nothing against obviously RDC when they ran it. Obviously, I had nothing against Michael Coventry or any of the Coventrys, to be fair. And obviously, it's been up and down. It all depends what's on the actual day of the event, and obviously, car bookings have not been like they used to there at Mildenhall. But again, people have got to give Speedsworth and obviously Mildenhall Stadium Limited a chance. Obviously, it's their first year running it completely. Obviously, there's going to be teething troubles. There is obviously going to be issues that need to be addressed, and people can't complain that a load of work has been put into that track. So, and there is still more,
some good improvements,
and there is still more work to come. So, watch this space. But obviously, going back on topic, all I can say is to those people, give us a chance, please.
And going back off topic, over 60 cars booked for this Sunday. Yeah, so there's quite a few national bangers. So don't moan about that.
No.
Anyway,
without Speedworth taking over, would we necessarily have a Mildenhall?
No, you wouldn't, because the bill from the court case would have meant the stadium would have had to close down anyway. So I think people have got to be grateful for the fact, whether they like Speedsworth or Dean Wood himself, thanks to him, we've still got Mildenhall, and we still will do now for many years to come.
Yeah,
and I'm sure Andy Watts would do anyway as commentator. He'd do.
Say no more.
No more. And again, Ryan Barbrook also says he would like to bring back Braintree. That's his option in the on the comment. Yeah. So that's an interesting one. Let's have a look. Mark White says Great Gidding to open again. That's probably one of those proper old tracks.
I'd say I've never heard of that, to be honest.
No, I haven't.
This one got 16 likes. John Joe Cunningham, I think he's 307 normally, who sometimes races. He says Swaffham is a good track and good location, although it's not gone or going. It would be great to get it back to its former glory. So I've not been to Swaffham, so I can't comment on what it's like these days. I'm guessing you'd like it to be back to the old days, Post and Rope or something.
Yeah, so Post and Rope. Going back to the old Earthshaker days and Icebreakers.
Yeah.
Here's one for you, Andy. Will Dryden says Bovingdon. Bring that back.
Yeah, any day of the week I'd love to see Bovingdon come back. But the only thing that ever made it bad about Bovingdon was it always seemed to rain on the Sundays that Bovingdon was running. And if it didn't rain, you fried to death and got a sunburn. But apart from that, Bovingdon was an excellent track. Yeah, I would love to see that come back.
Again,
awesome track.
Again, John Joe Cunningham. Again, off topic now. He's saying, he's saying bring back, I think it's Bradford, and he says a meeting sponsored by Caged, £500 unlimited final, £200 Too Little on Mondale final, and a £100 micro final. Who's going to fund that then? Who's going to fund that sort of meeting?
I'm sure if I could open up my bed or maybe look around the back of the sofa, I could pop a few coins out and maybe some notes. Yeah, fingers crossed.
Let's have a look.
Or win the lottery.
I've given up with that idea. I think I'll just look around the back of the sofa every couple of months to see what I've dropped behind there.
Fair enough.
But no, I think there's a whole host of tracks that people would love to see come back. I mean, Whiz Beach is another one. Rye House. I mean, they're just
Gary says Crew.
Oh, now I never got to see Crew, but a lot of people spoke about it and said it was a very good track, and I'd love to see a bit more on that from the early years.
That's it. I think that's it from the comments as well. So I don't know if we've got any more comments we'd like to make on that subject, but I'm going to say, if I had to pick one, I'm going to say Tadley Dirt. Bring back a dirt track Tadley. That's my final answer on that one. Come on, guys, you've got to pick one.
Well, obviously, Wimbledon would be an obvious one, but I'm trying to think of another one. So, yeah, Wimbledon.
Yeah, I don't know. If we're looking at things realistically, Crayford in my eyes, to be honest.
Yeah,
because I can see that happening. Well, I can't see it happening, but you know what I mean. I think Is a
Potential.
possible, potential.
And,
So yeah, Crayford.
Okay, that's good. So we've got that discussion, and we've closed it. So moving on now, we go on to the off-topic section where we talk about I'm a celebrity, get me out of here. No, I'm only kidding.
Nah.
No more on that subject. No more. We move on to, I don't know if we can do it, Jordan. I forgot to ask you before we went live. Jordan's Stockholm Hot Rod Roundup. Have you got anything, or is it too cold and wet?
It's too cold and wet. They're all hibernating, aren't they? I guess. Obviously, news has broke this week that the Classic Hot Rods will be at Mildenhall next season for one meeting only. Labrisca Formula 1 stock cars are also at Mildenhall next year for one meeting after a 13-year absence.
Oh, I can't wait for that. I'm buzzing for Briscoe F1s.
I'm definitely going to that because that should be absolutely awesome.
That's 25th of May, is it? Or 26th or something? So,
I must admit, I can't remember, but I thought it was 7th of April. Either way, check Stuxnet because they have all the restrictions on there.
Sorry, I'm thinking of Classic Hot Rods. That's end of May. Sorry, I messed up there.
I think that's it. There's no worries. And also, we have the Superstocks at Mildenhall this Sunday, Andy, don't we? With the National Bangers.
Yes, we do. And
That's
we have
gonna be
Lightning
very
Rods
good.
there. The following meeting at the end of January, Lightning Rods are there.
Like I mentioned just a moment ago, over 60 National Bangers booked in for that, and you got Superstocks. So I wouldn't complain if you're local to Milden. I'd certainly want to go to that.
Yeah, that's to be a good meeting. That does. But yeah, not really much else to talk about. Drivers are too busy rebuilding cars. Looking at 2018 plans. Yeah, hibernating, eating Christmas food and chocolate and all that. So yeah, roll on March, where the action will kick in again, and you will see my off-topic section return. But yeah, until then, I don't really know what I'm talking about. Maybe we will have to talk about EastEnders and stuff like that. Who knows?
Maybe that's for the next podcast off-topic section. Talk about the soaps and what's been going on the world of TV.
Yeah, or what I got for Christmas.
That's it. Yes, that's next. We could do that next one.
Enjoy my off-topic section next time, guys. What I got for Christmas.
Yeah, what we got for Christmas. Oh,
I have to get you guys involved as well.
I was going to say, sorry, just quickly while we're on that off topic, I don't know if you've seen, Jordan, a lot of the new National Hot Rods that are coming out next year for 2018, a lot of them are going to those new Gianettas, so don't be surprised, by the end of 2018, most of the field, by 80%, will now be Gianettas, and they are looking stunning.
I must admit, yeah, they are. We've already seen a few of them. We've got Aaron Dew, Stuart McLeod,
Jason Q's got one.
Jason Q's got one, and 174. So yeah, for a few years now, the National Hot Rods have become a bit of a Vauxhall Tigra class, and it's good to see a little bit of variety in there as well. And I know a few drivers have tried the BMW Z4s, I think they were.
Yeah.
You also had the Mercedes SLKs, which never really took off, but the Ginetta G40s. If anyone hasn't seen a National Hot Rod spec Ginetta, go and check them out because they, as Andy said, they look absolutely awesome. So yeah, looks to be exciting times for the Nationals next year, and I think the fixtures are slowly getting released for Northern Ireland, Scotland, and the England Bold Qualifying Series. So if you fancy some National Hot Rods next year, go and check out the fixtures on nationalhotrod.com.
And I think
excellent. And that concludes it.
Yeah, that concludes that, and we move on to the fixtures. Saturday the 16th this weekend. Nothing on, I believe. I'm not too sure, guys. Anything on this Saturday?
No, not seeing on the fixtures.
No, watch the telly and have some biscuits. That's sorted then for you guys.
Strictly Come Dancing final this Saturday.
Strictly Come Dancing final. That's on Saturday the 16th. Don't know what time it starts. So we forget about that. Come on, we're going completely off topic. So Sunday the 17th of December, as we've mentioned twice before, Milden will host under 2 litre National Bangers. 63 cars already booked in for that. Also featuring the Superstocks and the Junior Bangers. So an all-round top meeting that should be at Mildenhall. And also on Sunday, Barford plays host to Micro Bangers and Unlimited National Bangers on the same day. So two lots of banger classes there on that day. And Andy, we've got some fixtures over the Christmas period.
We have indeed. Tuesday the 26th of December, obviously Boxing Day. Obviously what would have been Wimbledon has now moved all the way up to Caister-on-Sea at Yarmouth for a 5 p.m. start time, featuring 1300 stock car, best in Britain, 2 Hot Rod best in Britain, back to basic bangers, and national big van bangers. And then we move on to New Year's Day, where it will be at Birmingham for a 2 p.m. start time. It's back to basic bangers there, as well along Vinca rods, mini stocks, and stock rod best in Britain. Also, as well, back at Yarmouth on New Year's Day at 2 p.m. National Banger, Micro Madness, 4-a-side teams, more Micro Madness, Lightning Rod best in Britain, and Super Stock best in Britain. And of course, the big National Banger meeting that always kickstarts January is the Heavy Metal Classic at Stanlake on Sunday the 7th of January. I think many people are already looking forward to that, Matt.
Yeah, they are. It's open to all drivers. And as usual, micro bangers, unders and overs on the same day, and unders classics, shall I say, as well. So hoping to get maybe just short of 200 cars on the day. So it should be a top meeting to kick off the year at Stanlake.
And then the following weekend at the Henderfield Raceway, the traditional Civil War 19 takes place at 1 p.m. at Hendersford. So north versus south. Up the south.
Yeah, up the south, I agree.
Definitely. Come on, you can.
No disrespect to the north, but up the south.
Sorry, Bryson, or is he south? I don't know. What is Bryson? Is he north?
No, he comes on the south border. If you look at the line that many people sort of distributed about over the years, he actually comes under the south border. So, yeah, we're all southern here.
Up the south.
Up the south, yeah.
I think if Bryson was here, it'd be up the north. So it's 3 against 1, but Bryson's not here, unfortunately.
No.
But, yeah, a lot of big meetings coming up in January. And as I say, the first meeting at Arlington kicks off on Saturday, the 27th of January, for 5 p.m. start time with 1300 stock cars, back to basic bangers and rookie rods. And then Mildenhall plays the National Banger Micro Madness. There's a surprise.
Another madness.
Another Micro Madness on Sunday, 28th of January, 1 p.m. start time with junior bangers, and the first ever time for lightning rods. And that, Matt, is concluding fixtures up until the end of January.
Yes, it certainly is, and I think that's the end of the podcast now.
Yep, I think that concludes this podcast, our 10th one this year, gentlemen. We've certainly come a long way since we started. So
and we're doing well. Let me just read out some quick stats for you, actually, before we go off. This is our last podcast of 2017 and before Christmas. So let's do some stats. Let's have a look. So for 2017 so far, we've got 46 followers, so thank you to all of you. 47 podcast downloads, so people actually downloading the podcast and listening to us, whether it's at home or in the car. So again, thank you. And 3,095 total plays. So that is pretty incredible.
Very good. Thank you for your continued support.
Yeah. Thank you, everybody, for the support throughout the year.
And also, looking at it on the actual Facebook page itself, we're now over 5,200 followers.
Yeah, brilliant.
Yep.
And the
Thank you.
Thank you. And the YouTube is at over 60 subscribers, I think. The Instagram's at over 2,000 followers, I think, over 2,000. Snapchat, we've got over 200 friends, but we hardly ever use that, so I'm not get too excited about that one. Twitter's not doing too great, but oh well. Thank you to everyone that's followed us on Twitter as well, I suppose. So yeah, next step now is this magazine, which should be coming out in February, March time.
And I think it's fair to say that concludes our podcast and our final one of 2017. So for myself, Andy Watts, it's a very Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year to you all. And from Matt, Josie,
Merry Christmas and Happy New Year.
And not forgetting, of course, Jordan Hollands.
Thank you, Andy. Thank you, Matt. A great year is ending. Merry Christmas to everyone and a very Happy New Year as well. See you at an Oval in 2018.
Yep, until 2018. Bye-bye for now.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.